Welcome to our story corner. You must have been hearing about animal kingdom. Why monkey lives on the tree, for instance. Why lion is the king of animals. Well, our today's story is how mosquito lost his home. Once upon a time, all the animals lived in their kingdom. They built houses and lived in them. There was absolute peace among them, and they intermingled freely with one another. But one day, something happened. Mr. WHITEANT had returned from a trip to his mother-in-law's village, where he participated in the season's harvest. He told the story to members of his family that his mother-in-law had a bumper harvest. He said that the yam tubers they harvested were so big that they were as big as his arms and his legs. In fact, they were so big that he found it impossible to carry even a tuber home. When WHITEANT spoke, he did not know that Mosquito was hiding somewhere in his room, waiting for him to sleep so that he might feast on him. Anyway, when Mosquito saw the legs and arms of WHITEANT that he compared with big yams, he began to chuckle. As he flew away, he did not know when he entered the nose of elephant that was farming near WHITEANT's house. Elephant was startled, and he wielded his machete to rip the intruder to shreds. His machete instead cut the tail of snake that stretched on a nearby tree, absorbing the early morning sun. Meanwhile, Mosquito had escaped through elephant's anus. Snake zigzagged his way in full speed when he saw the machete in elephant's hand, for fear of being cut in two. He ended up in the home of Rabbit. Rabbit, upon sighting blood on Snake's tail, escaped through the back door, alerting whomever that was listening that the animals are finished. Monkey was on one branch of the tree when he heard the scream from Rabbit. In panic, he hopped to another branch of the tree, leaving a dead wood on his trail. The dead wood landed on the waist of pregnant antelope that was resting under the tree. Antelope moved with difficulty in search of a place to deliver, should her labor come. It was then that she unknowingly stepped on bushfowl that sat on her eggs, accidentally cracking her eggs. Bushfowl narrowly escaped death. She flew skywards, chanting, "John Choggery, Choggery, John Choggery, Choggery. Let there be no day, let there be no night. Let there be no day, let there be no night." Animals that were still sleeping could not wake up because day refused to break. Animals that were awake could not sleep because night did not drop. It was a state of confusion in the kingdom. For 7 days, there was neither day nor night in the kingdom. When they could bear it no more, the elders, led by King Lion, summoned an emergency meeting in which they would ask Bushfowl to explain why she invoked Mother Nature to withhold day and night from them. "Bushfowl," they called. "My elders, I greet you," began Bushfowl. "I brooded my eggs without any previous animosity. All I remembered was Antelope's huge leg on me, about to crush me. All my eggs were cracked, but I managed to escape. That was why I begged Mother Nature to withhold night and day from the kingdom. The animals looked at one another and reasoned that it was too early to pass judgment. They decided to visit Antelope instead. Mother Antelope, they called. My lords, temporal and spiritual, I salute you, said Antelope. You know how it is with pregnant women. I was resting under the avocado tree. Without warning, all I saw was a large dead wood that landed on my waist. I managed to look up, only to see Monkey hopping away to another branch of the tree. I was afraid that another dead wood might fall on me, thereby breaking my half-broken waist. That was why I crawled to a more quiet place. It was late when I found out that I stepped on bushfowl. She's a mother like me. I couldn't have deliberately cracked her eggs. I am sorry. The animals resolved to visit Monkey. They wondered why he would always stay on a tree instead of his house. Monkey, they called. My elders, I respect you, said Monkey. You know that we, monkeys, cannot do without the tree. As usual, I was relaxing on one branch of the tree when Rabbit rushed out from his house, shouting that the animals are finished. I hopped away in panic, only to realize that a dead wood had fallen on Antelope. But it was not possible for me to reach her. I say no more. The animals were sad that pregnant Antelope was hit by the dead wood. They, however, felt that they must visit Rabbit to find out why he raised that alarm in the first place. Rabbit, stop hiding. We can see you, said Tortoise. My people, began Rabbit. You know that rabbits are always on the alert. I was in my house when Snake ran in with blood gushing from his tail. All I had time to do was escape from the back door, announcing that the animals are finished. I did it out of concern for my brothers. The next visit was to Snake. Every animal in the kingdom respected Snake for his wisdom, but this time they wondered why he ran into somebody's house without previous notice. Snake, the wise one, we hail, they said. My elders, you are welcome, began Snake. I was having the morning sunbath when it just happened. Blood everywhere. My tail has been snipped off. It was no other than Elephant, wearing his machete as if he was possessed. I could not wait. The closest heaven was the home of Rabbit. I went there hoping to get first aid, but he abandoned me at such a crucial time and escaped through the back door. I am happy though to see that the spot is nearly regenerated. I am always available to issue my wise advice whenever you need them. All the animals in unison agreed to wrest the rampaging machete from elephant if he was not able to explain why he cut off the tail of an innocuous citizen. The big elephant was waiting for them. "Mighty elephant," they called. "My elders, if I hadn't seen you today, I would have concluded that nobody has the interest of this community at heart, given this strange thing that happened in the land. Where do I begin? I was in my farm when Mosquito flew through my proboscis. I wielded my machete to kill this intruder. He was already in my stomach. Then my machete cut the tail of snake. By then, Mosquito had escaped through my anus," narrated elephant. All the animals were chanting, "We no go gree yo, we no go gree. We no go gree yo, we no go gree. Where is Mosquito? We no go gree." "Mosquito, wherever you are, show your face," they demanded. "Defenders of our kingdom," began Mosquito, "I will be straight. You all know that we, mosquitoes, must drink your blood in order to stay alive. It simply means we are parasites. I didn't know how it came about, but you must believe me. So I was in the home of WHITEANT. He was telling the story of how he participated in the year's harvest in his mother-in-law's village. I was not interested in what he was saying initially, but when he said that the yams they harvested were as big as his arms and his legs, then I began to laugh. As I convulsed with laughter, I flew into the wide nose of elephant. I was thankful to the gods that I managed to escape through his anus. It was like a resurrection. Resurrection indeed crossed the animals. They had begun piecing together the information they got so far. But they must reach WHITEANT before they would take a decision. "WHITEANT, the ball is in your court," the animal said. "My fathers, what more can I say?" began WHITEANT. "It is said that man must be careful while sitting in order not to rupture his scrotum. The story that I narrated before my wife and children, that the harvest this year in my mother-in-law's village was extraordinary, would not lead to my untimely death. I told them that the yam tubers were as big as my legs and my arms. I made bold to say that the big size of the yams was the reason I could not carry even a tuber to the house. Am I supposed to apologize to anyone?" The animals had listened to submissions by all the animals involved in this particular incident. After weighing the pros and cons of the matter, they resolved to punish Mosquito for his truancy. But before then, they decided first to go to Bushfowl to beg her to revoke the curse on the land, so that the quietude that pervaded the kingdom would return. Bushfowl was eager to do the bidding of the elders for the interest of the community at large. She flew upwards and recanted. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Let there be day, let there be night. Let there be day, let there be night. So it was that the animals resumed a life of normalcy in the kingdom. The punishment for Mosquito was hard, since he was responsible for what happened to the community. His house was consequently pulled down. That is why Mosquito lives in another man's house to this day. That is the end of the story. Thanks for listening.